What's up? It's the Brunch Breakdown. Didi out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. And before we start the Brunch Breakdown, I need to give an apology to all the Brunch Breakdown listeners and you too. I was well, not Bono, but you too. I was called out on I was called out on the Brunch Breakdown and was told that Superbad was made in 2007. And so I could not have been talking about going on a date in high school with Superbad. And
Oh,
they were completely correct. I was thinking of another very goofy movie called Super Troopers. That is what
oh,
I was mistaken.
Well, at
So
least
I would like to apologize to all of the Brunch Breakdown listeners and you guys, and just wanted to let you guys know before we start the show today that I'm sorry, and I will try my best to do better.
so okay. So you did this was a high school movie date.
This was a high school movie date, but it was the wrong super.
That's what a Super Troopers is a hell of a movie to take a girl to.
yeah.
On a
No wonder
first
that was
date.
such an awkward date. Yeah, no wonder it didn't go so well.
I mean, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you guys are
Yeah.
watching Farva naked in the shower. Like what a holy crap. I can't. And that was a first date.
First date, first date, first date.
Was it
And you
the
had
Not
no
the
idea what
first-
you were getting
not-
yourself into.
Not the
You had
first
no
of
idea what
many.
you were getting yourself into.
I had no idea. Think about it. Take yourself back to
Yeah.
2001 or 2002, and how you used to watch movie, how you used to go see a movie. It would be like, oh, I saw a trailer a couple times on MTV while I was watching Making the Band, and you're like, that looks funny. I didn't know what I was getting into, but yeah, wrong super. I was not dating high school girls in 2007.
So that was
So.
why I wanted to clarify, because that's the flip side. Is like Aditi just outed himself or something. But,
Yeah.
Okay. So we're
Yeah.
Yeah.
safe. It was a
Yes.
bad movie choice, but we're
Yes.
as far as the legalese goes, we're good.
Yeah. Exactly. Just wrong super. Wrong super.
Wrong super. It's an easy mistake to make.
Yeah. All right. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. Getting old. Things just blend together. All right. Well, now that we got that retraction out of the way, today it is football brunch. We are talking all things football today on the show because football is, well, actually, it has started for Chris, but I feel like for the rest of the world,
Goddamn
it
right,
starts,
it starts.
next
Yeah.
weekend.
It's
It
here.
starts next weekend. So we're going to be talking rule changes that we would make. The new kickoff rule. We've got Pitbull Stadium. I can't wait to talk about that. We've got football beer prices in all of the NFL and whatever else comes in our mind because it's football brunch. Guys, Dan, let everybody know where they can find us.
You can find this very podcast anywhere podcasts are available. Every Wednesday, new episodes are coming straight to you. Just follow, hit subscribe, whatever they like to call it. You hit that button. It's coming straight to you. It's that simple. Okay. Take it on the go. Listen whenever you want. New episodes each and every Wednesday. Of course, you want to see our beautiful faces every once in a while. You got to check out the videos. And the video episodes air on YouTube and Facebook and now on Spotify. And they premiere at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific every Wednesday. But of course, you can watch it on demand anytime you'd like to. After that, we're everywhere on social media at Brunch Breakdown. Follow us, follow you back. And then, of course, the Sounds of Brunch. If you're not listening to the Sounds of Brunch, what in the hell are you doing?
Oh shit!
Honestly.
I forgot. Damn it! I forgot
Yeah,
to
well-
send you my songs. God, all right, I'll do it right now. God
Did.
damn it!
You did. You might as well wait because you need to send me next week's the ones
All
that
right.
you're talking about
I'll
later
do them
anyways.
all in an hour
Just
at the
split
end of this
'em.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just split them up or something.
Shit.
Yes, we'll get them on there. Yes. So as of when we're recording this, it's mine and Didi's song from last week.
Yeah. Shit.
And that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, friends. So, but you can usually check out all of our songs on the Sounds of Brunch. That's updated exclusively every Friday on Spotify or whenever Chris sends them to me.
I'm the worst co-host. It's unbelievable.
You
This-
had a good couple of weeks there where you would be sending them as we're recording them,
I know,
which
what
is
happened?
smart. It's smart on both your parts. But
What
here we
happened?
go. Here we are. I don't know. We need to get back into that groove. That was nice. That was nice for everybody.
Oh, wow. We're off to a great start. Chris, let us know what's on your mind, man. It's time to get things off your chest. Let's go.
All right, guys. Well, I watched college football this weekend, and I took some notes that I wanted to share with you.
Nice.
Because we talked last week about the games weren't great on paper. They didn't look like a great slate. Turned out to be a rather entertaining Saturday of college football. And I just wanted to point out one reason why maybe you should lean in this season to the games that sound uninteresting, or watching teams you've never heard of or never seen before. Because you can't do that in the NFL, right? You've heard of them. There's like 31 teams. They all play each other. They're all always on TV. That's not quite the case. College football, you got like 135 teams. Some people would say that's too many. I think it's exactly right. Yesterday, as of recording, on Saturday, there was a game between New Mexico and Montana State. And on paper, you'd say, we should go do something else. And if you did that,
You listen to me.
you listen to Dan. And shame on you. Never listen to Dan again. Okay. Just some of the magic that happens during these games of teams you've never heard of. This game was played in the middle of a windstorm. Like, the announcers thought a tornado could come through at any point in time. There was trash blowing all over the stadium. They would do these shots. They would cut to these wide shots of like the tailgate tents. People were watching the game holding onto the tailgate tent so that it wouldn't fly away. It was insane. The trees looked like they were going to blow over. And all amidst that, they're playing a football game. Multiple field goals were missed. The quarterbacks, at times, could not throw the ball. Multiple defensive touchdowns were scored in this game. However, the team that lost this football game was the team that scored multiple defensive touchdowns. I don't know the exact stat. That doesn't happen very often. Okay, if you score 2 or more touchdowns with your defense, you're not supposed to lose a football game, but they did. Boys, Bronco Mendenhall, he's coaching. He's at New Mexico. If you didn't tune into this game, you would never know that. I was like, holy shit, Bronco. I thought he just disappeared. There was a 92-yard touchdown run. It was just like, it was a beautiful game. Montana State was down 17 points in the fourth quarter. They came all the way back to win on the road. They're a FCS team. They beat an FBS team. Folks, watch some games of teams you've never heard of in college football this year. Lean into like these places that you didn't know exist. Like if you hear that Appalachian State is like, where is that? That's not a state, but it is. It exists. It's there. Tune in to some of these games because you're more than likely going to see some shit you will never otherwise see. You watch the NFL, like the outcomes may end up being surprising from time to time, but generally speaking, you know what's going to happen. Like Justin Jefferson's going to score 2 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes is going to account for 3 touchdowns and 350 yards of all. Like, you know what's going to happen in these games. Travis Kelce's going to catch a touchdown. You don't know what is happening in college football, and it's beautiful. And admittedly, I'm a little bit of a sicko, so I love that shit, but it was a great first Saturday of college football, and I highly implore you, watch some games of some teams you've never heard of. It'll probably be a lot of fun. Thank you for your time.
Wow. I feel like a fight song should have been playing in the background. That. Like that was beautiful. I have that mine goes right off of he was talking about yesterday in college football. So part of the family went to go do soccer and whatever, and I had mayhem here, and we were just outside hanging out. Then she got too hot, we came inside, and so I'm folding clothes, watching, got the game on in the background. Can't say I was really watching it because I found it to be very boring, and I've thought about a few things, okay, while this game was happening. So the game was in Ireland, and all I could think of was, if this was your first time at a football game, would you have liked football after this? And my answer was, wow, absolutely not. And that's not like an indictment on like football. It's just like that's how we look at soccer too. It's like we get flown into soccer. Like if we ever all three of us are watching soccer at some point, it's the Olympics, it's some like the US team, like everyone, like all like half the countries died and the US soccer team somehow did something in the World Cup. Like just that's why we would be watching. We'd be like, wow, this is really boring. Why the hell do people watch this shit? You know? And I don't know why they do this. Like, I feel like football is just not, it just does not translate. I don't know why. I don't think it does. And when I'm watching people in the crowd, it looked like people didn't know what they were doing. Like, except for like this small faction of like Georgia Tech fans that they kept showing in the crowd because apparently, hey, Georgia Tech, big on the Irish, I guess. And I just don't know, man. I don't know. They do these games. Sometimes I'm like, maybe football is just America's thing. That's why it's so big here. It's ours. Like, just forget it, guys. Like, NFL's playing the opening game in Brazil next Friday night. It's like, guys, I don't think they want it. You know, I think they want like a party, and that's what it is. But I don't think it's gonna work there. I don't know. Football just seems very American, and we're just like America, and that's us. Like, I love football, you love football, but I don't know. So that's one thought I had. Then at the end of the game,
that's got to be a t-shirt. Hold on, for the brunch breakdown. Like, I love football, you love football, but I don't know. I want that on a t-shirt.
That's actually pretty good. I actually want that. That's a conversation starter right there. Every tailgate you go to. What does that mean, dude? America. Okay, so my other thought was, after the game was over, the coach from Georgia Tech was talking, and he goes, our team, we're one team, all 120 of us. Okay? There is no reason for there to be 120 people on a football team. In a band? Yeah. A football team? No. There shouldn't be 120 people on a football team. Like, please stop that. I can't believe this still happens. It's terrible. And the last thing I had here was just 12-team playoff. Not hyped for it at all, because after the game was over, they were like, that Florida State team has nothing to worry about because, hey, for the first time in college football, one loss means nothing. And that's the reason I like college football, is because one loss means everything. And I hated that at the end of the game. It like hit me that I was like, oh, that's right. That's starting this year. I hate this. I don't want that team in any conversation that anyone has for the rest of the year. None at all. But we're going to have it. Those are my thoughts on going into college football season.
Well, I have good news for you, Didi. They do have something to be worried about, so they will not be there. Number two, the rosters actually, I think next year go from 120 down to like 100. So they're actually fixing that problem for you.
Thank God.
Thank goodness.
Go down to 50. Go down to 60. Like, it's just no need.
Number three, I'm actually planning on doing this trip because Pitt plays in Ireland in 3 years. So I'm planning on doing this trip. So, like, as a fan, great opportunity to go to Ireland and visit a place I've always wanted to go to. But number four, this is the most important point that I have to make about what you just said. I think it's very dangerous that we're playing these games internationally. And I'll tell you why. We did it with basketball. And now these other countries are way too close to being just as good at us at basketball. Okay? If we keep entertaining football in these other countries, they're going to start getting good at it. And I will not like that. I already don't like the fact that some of these other countries are good at basketball, because that's our shit. Okay? If anything, that's our shit. The dream team, since then, it's been like clear. Don't mess with us with basketball. Okay? And now some of these teams, they don't have like the brand name players, but they're good. I don't like that. And I don't want us getting anywhere into the realm of that happening in football. Like some of these countries, Australia and Ireland, they're starting to produce kickers. And that's where it starts. They infiltrate you with the specialists. Next is going to be long snappers. And then out of nowhere, you're going to find out, like, I don't know, one of these really fast, shifty slot receivers, he just decided not to play soccer. And then he ended up in the NFL. And now there's a world full of Wes Welkers that are coming from Britain, and then we're screwed. Okay, so I don't think we should be doing this. I think it's really dangerous to our national identity. And I'm going to go. I'm going to have a great time. But I don't think it's a good idea. Long term, I think we should lock it down.
Bunch of redheaded slut receivers from Ireland are coming through.
Yeah. There goes Seamus across the middle of the field for a first down.
It's coming. I promise you, it's going to happen.
God. That was also another thing when they do these games was like watching this, like the shots of Ireland. I'm like, man, it really doesn't make me want to go there. I'll tell you that. So it'll be a lot different with Brazil next week in the NFL. I have a feeling. But man, Ireland did not make me want to go there. I'll tell you that.
Chris, I love it. You're worried about we got to be concerned. We got to be playing these. We've got flag football coming up in the Olympics in 4 years. Team USA can't lose. We cannot lose. Got to be concerned.
There's already beef with that.
There is. I love it. Oh, I know. I love it. I'm a big fan of that kid already. I love it.
Get it off your chest, Danny.
So, yeah, I'll get it off my chest. It's just we're talking so much football. And let me put this plain and simple. Chris, you just encourage people to watch teams that they have never seen, maybe never heard of, not as familiar with. I'm going to put a little caveat in that right there. Stop putting high school football on national television. Stop doing it. So you may not have ever heard of those teams. Don't watch those teams. Watch college football teams that you're not as familiar with. The ESPN, I'm specifically talking and looking at you. Because this past weekend, on Saturday night, not Friday, Saturday night, what did ESPN2 have airing? A high school football game.
Well, John Bosco prep against Chaminade.
Right. Exactly. Like, the WNBA is as hot as it's ever been. Why aren't you broadcasting that? Showcase their games. Last week, Didi, you and I talked about showcasing Olympic sports more than just every 4 years at the Olympics. Now, obviously, this particular scenario, they're not going to have any of those sports going on a week after the Olympics. But this happens every year in, year out. Please put something else on TV, on national TV, besides high school football. And I don't care how popular it is in Texas or California or, yes, even Pennsylvania, where Chris and I sit. This level of sport doesn't need showcased for the entire country to see, unless like the next LeBron is playing, right? The next Manning kid is playing. Okay, maybe that's when you do that. That's almost never the case. Get it off my TV. Air anything else, please. And if you're one of those people, and I really hope I'm not describing either one of you, but if you're one of those people who watch high school football on TV and you're not like working in football or athletics in like some sort of recruitment level, you're a loser. You're an absolute loser. And I had to get it off my chest this week. We don't need it. We don't need it on national television.
Oh, the L word. Damn, Dan.
Yeah.
Correct.
Stay away from it. Thank you.
What about like
correct?
What about like what if you're tuning into 22 to Point to see the Quad A game of the week here in Whitfield? What if you're doing that?
See that now? That's different. That's regional, local TV. That's where high school football belongs. Totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. The largest sports broadcasting network in the entire world has 2 prime channels. One of them should never have on high school football.
Bro, they need to go.
There
back
are other
to...
more interesting sports going on of professional level athletes.
It's funny you
talk
say
about
that.
Sickos.
It's funny you say that because like I think over the last week at some point on social media I saw that like old ESPN2 logo that was like kind of like it was like almost like spray painted or whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
And it brought back. It's amazing how like a logo can associate memories with you because I immediately was transported back into this time where beach roller hockey was on ESPN2. Pro beach hockey. They had strongman competitions on there. They were always broadcasting skateboarding. And like, I loved that shit. But yeah, you don't really get the diversity of programming, do you?
Bring that back. No, bring that back. We need more of that. There's plenty of other sports out there.
Yep. Because that was before that was before everything became 24 hours of whatever, and like seasons don't exist anymore in the NFL and the NBA. So like it's just all year round. And now they put everything on. And I miss that because we don't need that every year. I don't need NFL Live on in, I don't know, June. Just don't need it. I
Right.
could watch World's Strongest Man. I'm here for that.
And not
All
to
right.
totally
Good.
derail this.
Who cares?
But like, shout out to those goaltenders in Pro Beach hockey that were wearing all that equipment when it was 110 degrees out there. Oh my God.
Yeah. Brutal. And people were taking snipers from long range, that 2-point line, like I would.
Just getting pelted by.
Yeah.
That's brutal. What a brutal. That might be, if maybe one day we'll do an episode on like the most brutal positions in sports, and like that's got to be up there.
Okay. That's fun.
That's good.
Writing this down. All right. Well, let's get to brews, boys. What are we sipping on? Chris, what you got?
Yeah, since it's a football week in Pittsburgh here, I got a little upside down, boys. A little upside Athletic Brewing's lager. Thought I'd enjoy that with you today. So let's have a good episode. I mean, we're already halfway into the episode, but let's have a good episode.
So I had possibly the best old fashioned I've ever had in my life yesterday at this Irish bar called Old Man, and it was spelled AULD, and it was unbelievable. The love and care that this bartender made with this old fashioned. There's nothing special in this old fashioned. It was bourbon and everything that goes in old fashioned. But the way that he made this thing, the way he stirred it, the love and care he put in a drink, I just want to shout out here on Brews Day. Bartenders, love the drink you make, or at least find one drink that you love to make and make it with all the love. And tell everybody who comes to the bar, make sure you tell them, they're like, this is the drink I make with love. The other one is just a mix. Who cares? Because my God, man, I just have not seen a bartender just show that much care on a drink, maybe in my life. And I just want to shout out that guy at Old Man. And and where am I? In Culver City is where I was for a baby shower. So yeah.
No, you weren't there for a baby shower. He was just ripping on all those Irish people about watching the game. He was literally watching the game in Ireland from an Irish pub. You're watching Georgia Tech, Florida State in an Irish pub. You're like, this is as close to Ireland as I'm going to get to watching college football.
He was so sad the whole time. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Anyways, Irish people, they love U2 a lot. There's a lot of U2 pictures in that bar. Very cool bar, but a lot of Bono there. Anyways, yeah. So this old fashioned from old guy, just man, shouts to bartenders. Do your thing, guys.
I like that. I like that a lot. Wow, greatest old fashioned maybe you've ever had. That's strong. Well, speaking of strong, I'm coming with something strong. Been a while since I've had a sour on Brews Day. And I had a real good sour yesterday, and it was a smoothie sour from the fine folks at Evergreen Brewing, they're in like Central PA, Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, and they have a sorbetto series. I believe I've maybe featured a sorbetto or two in years past on Brews Day. And this was sorbetto number 78. They basically just number them. Sorbetto number 78. And I will just describe how they describe it because they do a much finer job than I would. Creamy milk sugar, tropical coconut, and boisterous blueberries with a touch of almond for a delightful dessert-worthy sour, touched off with some vanilla for the perfect balance of tart and sweet. And it was so damn good. Like so well balanced between the blueberry and the almond, that little bit of like creamy coconut and that hint of vanilla at the end. I mean, you're drinking a smoothie at that point. You have no idea whatsoever that there's alcohol in this thing. It's that delicious. It's a low ABV. So the heaviest part about it is how thick it is. That's the thing. It takes a minute or two to take these ones down. But the Sorbetto series is one of the best. Shouts to Evergreen. Sorbetto 78. It was refreshing. It was delightful.
That sounds incredible.
It was. It
was
amazing.
Is it the blueberry that brings in the sour? Because like most of those other elements.
Yes. Yes, and that's why it wasn't like a super large sour. It's kind of like a tartness in sour. And so, yeah, it wasn't overly sour, which is why it was nice. It was very, very nice.
Nice.
So, shouts to Sorbetto.
Well, that's what we're sipping on this week. Cheers, boys. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Let's get into the main menu. One of the most important things when you're going to football games are beer prices. So let's get into which NFL stadium you should go to and buy a beer and which ones you shouldn't. Or which ones you're just going to anyways because that's your home team. So let's check it out. So, first thing that jumps out. Detroit Lions. $6.25?
$6.25 for a beer? Are you kidding me?
Dude, and the Lions are listen. Lions,
that price is going up. Yeah, that price is going up. I guarantee you.
The Lions and Browns are very similar in the fact where when they get you excited about something and then it all turns to shit. Detroit Lions fans, you guys will be drinking a lot of those 625 beers. Got a feeling it might turn to shit for you guys.
You think so?
Honestly, for no other reason than just history
Detroit.
and being a Browns fan and just being like, this doesn't happen. Good things don't happen for us, guys. But enjoy those beers though. $6.25.
Bro,
like that's a low price, regardless of being in stadium or in a restaurant. It's an incredible price for a beer.
Yeah. I'm just noticing this as you call out the Lions, Didi, but 1, 2, 3, 5 of the 7 lowest prices are teams in domes. And like, as I creep up there in age, I think more and more as football season rolls around about how I would appreciate having a dome, because like in September, it's just hot as balls or like thunderstorming. And then October's nice, but then November and December are cold as shit. So for an outdoor stadium, I guess specifically here in Western Pennsylvania, like your time to have really ideal temperatures and weather for a football game is very limited. And I really appreciate domes, and I would be totally cool with one. But like, so you already have the comfort of being in climate control, and then they're just spoon feeding you beer, basically. Like that's amazing. That's amazing to me.
And at the same point of you saying that, Chris, what in the hell? Like the Broncos are on the low on this list. Talk about one of the worst places to drink beer after Halloween. Like, it's cold. It's cold there. You're right. I don't typically drink beer in stadium like after Halloween. It's too cold. It's too cold. But that's an interesting point about these dome stadiums. But these prices, man, below $7.
Yeah. So
I can't get a hot dog below $7. Where we go, like, honestly.
Yeah, Detroit and Atlanta, $6.25. That's the lowest price. The highest price, for those not watching, Philadelphia, $14.67 per beer. I think this is appropriate because if there's any franchise or any fan base that probably should be discouraged from drinking more beer inside the stadium based on past precedent, it's probably Philly.
That has to be the only reason it's that high, right?
Yeah.
There's no other reason that Philadelphia should have the highest priced beer in all the NFL, except for discouraging fans from going overboard. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that's probably it. Because it's not like their stadium is new or anything.
No.
So
it's one of the oldest.
Yeah,
and
I don't know why.
And there's a lot of different prices on here. They're $14.67. The second highest priced beer is $13.75. It's almost a full $1 more than the next one.
California,
and those are rightfully in Los Angeles. It's crazy.
In the brand new, because that's another thing here too, right? So Raiders are $12. Rams and Chargers $13.75. Those are brand new stadiums,
right?
Like brand new stadiums in places where people are, for the most part, all those games are away games for the Raiders, Rams, and Chargers. So they're getting more money from people who are on vacation.
Yeah.
I feel like that's honestly the reason why they're able to charge that much for what it is. I mean, I know those places more expensive, but it's like a lot of people are just on vacation and just don't give a shit. So
Right.
yeah. But the Philly
Yeah.
thing, man, it's like those people aren't on vacation. Like,
No.
no, not on vacation.
And here's the thing. You know what? That also, it discourages you from drinking in the stadium, but it encourages those tailgates to get so out of control. And people are pounding beers before the game because they're like $15 in the stadium. We got to drink as literally much as we can before the game. That's why their tailgates are out of control too. So, little catch-22 here, Philly.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't help but notice the Saints, New Orleans, the fourth highest beer price at $11.50. If you are paying that much for a beer in the Superdome, like, why just spend all day on Bourbon Street before the game? Like, what are you doing? There's better places to drink than in the Superdome. I don't know. That seems silly. I feel like I don't. The NFL average is $9.56. I don't know. I don't know that I look at any of these. I could look at every single one of these and think like I got a problem with that price for one reason or another.
Yeah, like Jacksonville, $11.50. Get the hell out of here. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
That might be another
team
one.
that's just not filling the stadium.
Yeah, that might be another one where it's like, well, we know all the fans here for the other team. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's it. Because San Francisco, I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised the 49ers beer is not the most expensive, if anything. I'm really surprised by that.
Crazy town.
Yes, very much so. Dude, another reason to want to go to Jerry World, because I really do. There's not many stadiums that I really care to go to at this point in my life that I'm like, I've been to a lot of them, not really all that interested in going to many, but Dallas Cowboys Stadium, I really want to go. I really, really, really want to go to Jerry World. And $9.50 for a beer, hey, it's another reason. Another reason.
It's below NFL average. It's surprising that they're so low on this list. Honestly, it really is. But they sell probably so many more, not only because of the capacity. They have the largest capacity out of any NFL stadium, but people are willing to buy more than one beer at $9.50. Jerry's a smart guy. He doesn't sound smart often.
Yeah.
But no, I guess what's his son's name? His son's basically running the show now. Somebody there is smart and knows what they're doing. The odd thing about that line, though, two teams at $9.50, the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. Why on earth are those on the same level? Green Bay, this is not some big city. They're filling out that stadium no matter what. I think they're kind of robbing people here with a $9.50 beer at Lambeau Field. That seems a little wrong to me.
I've had a beer at Lambeau Field. I could not tell you what the cost of it was.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You were dead.
Bro,
right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I had a Deuce Juicy or two on the way to the stadium, and I've never tried IPAs that fast. So
I was trying to find like how much a hurricane costs at Saints games. I feel like more people are drinking other things at Saints games.
Oh, that's fair.
That's an interesting point. Like, could any of these beer prices be positioned in a way that encourages or is related to other drinks that are available at the stadium?
Yeah, but because especially there, because like if you're in New Orleans, I mean, because that's one of those places where, you could really possibly be on vacation there too. That's another.
Sure.
You see New Orleans on the schedule. It happens at a certain time of year. You're like, that sounds like fun. And a lot of people go there, but I feel like they're drinking other stuff. You're not switching from hurricanes to beer. So
right.
The Browns' prices should be higher. We should be discouraging people from being that drunk at those games because they're already angry. So I don't think that's the right.
I mean, hello, let's all recall when they were throwing bottles on the field not that long ago in this century. They were throwing bottles of beer on the field. So we really should crank up Cleveland Browns prices. The Super Bowl champs on the lower end of this list at $8.50, and like the Patriots even at $8.40. Those are surprisingly low. I think those are the two.
Yeah, I think those are the two best prices on this chart, to be honest with you, based on the franchise and how much you're paying for beer.
Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers, the David Tepper effect, they're at the top half of this list at 1050. Excuse me? Excuse me?
What a gem that guy is. I can't wait. I hope they have a just camera on him this year. I just want, like, man, that guy is, whew. I just couldn't imagine owning an NFL team and being that angry. Like, you're that rich to own an NFL team. Like, you have to be so dumb rich to own an NFL team. It makes no sense. Like, no sense. Like, dumb rich to own an NFL team. Just like you have billions of dollars you just throw away every year. You just are like, I just throw it away. And he's so angry, fighting fans and stuff. He's just angry. I just don't get it. I don't, like, how?
Come on.
How? Money doesn't buy happiness, kids. He's the example.
In some instances, it doesn't even buy a beer at some of these stadiums. You need to take out a line of credit.
The Buffalo Bills should be cut in half. It should be as cheap as possible to get those people to light less shit on fire outside of the stadium and just get into the stadium. Get to a safe place. That the Buffalo, it should be dollar beers, just so people stop lighting shit on fire and then jumping into the fire. I know everybody that laughs at Bills Mafia. The more this shit goes on, the more the football seasons pass. I'm like, dude, I know that the people I'm seeing jump into flaming tables in the parking lot have kids. And as a parent, the more kids I accumulate over here, I guess the less I can fathom jumping into a flaming table drunk when I got kids that are going to see it on the internet at some point later in life. Like, just stop. Just stop. Give them dollar beers, get them into the stadium, get them out of the parking lot, please.
Dollar beers is not the answer for anyone on this list. It's not.
Maybe the Cardinals. Just get people to stick around. Dollar beers in the third quarter.
We had dollar beers at Kent State, and my family loved coming up for football games.
It's true. It's true. That was when you really could. That's when having beer at college football stadiums was rare and very hard to do. It was before it was like a widespread thing. So it was nice. All
right. So what is the best bargain on this list? Best bargain, team, price. What's the best bargain on the list?
I think it's $8.50 Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, honestly, I was leaning Patriots at 840, but I like those games. That's not the same anymore. Honestly, 880 in Chicago is a really good price for Chicago. Now the team, not so good, but like every game has sold out for all of time. So it's hard to get in there. And in a city like Chicago, 880, it's well below NFL average. It's one of the largest cities on this list. It's a pretty good deal for a Bears game.
Yeah, Chiefs, that's definitely a good one. But like Arizona at 813, very comfortable. Like, you're in the dome, then you leave the stadium. It's not going to be cold. More than likely, not going to be raining. Just a very comfortable atmosphere. Like, maybe the team's good, maybe the team's not. You're just kind of chilling. You're really just like any retiree in Arizona. Like, that is the one interesting thing about being in Arizona, is that you really understand it when you're there for a couple days, that like, oh, wow, I might have to retire here too. You just get it. 100% get it. And $8, I feel like Arizona might be it. Because that's just chill. $8, $8.13, that's a chill price. And you're at the stadium feeling comfy. Like, yeah, Arizona might be it for me. It's the whole vibe of that feels right to me.
What's your line of demarcation? Where at any of these are you saying that's too much for me? That's too much for beer in this stadium to watch this team. Where's the line that's too high?
Bro, I'm not paying more than $8 for a beer. Like, that's just ridiculous. So like
when you go to a Steelers game, you're not getting beer. You can't get a beer then. $9.29. $8, really? That's your line. Wow, you are low on the list.
Dude, that's just so much. Like, for one drink?
Yes.
That, that's a lot of money.
Yes, wait, are we looking at these 2 drink prices? Oh, we've been looking at this wrong the whole time.
Yeah, I just think like I have my drinks before the game, and then I do kind of subscribe to the strategy of like have your drinks in the parking lot and then make sure you are safe to drive home after the game too. Anyway, so that plays part of it. Yeah, $8. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I hear you because there gets to a point like maybe it's 11. When you get there, then I'm like, I should just drink liquor then. Like, what's the price of the other drinks that what else are we doing? Like, I like, because there gets a point where it's like, I don't want to pay like $15 for beer is stupid. Like, just get liquor then. Like, it makes no sense. And maybe that's another reason why Philadelphia Eagles fans are wild. Maybe they're not drinking beer at the games. Maybe they're drinking too much liquor at the game. Because just $15 is just stupid. It's like, no, I'm just going to pay for something else at that point. Like, that's just a lot. Yeah.
Like the average on here, I mean, no one's at 956. That's the average. That's like a comfortable number for me. So I guess I just round up. If I see 1050, I'm like, that's steep. But I could do one at 1050 where this is an NFL game. When it hits 11, brother. And like maybe New York, the Giants and the Jets at $11, you're like, all right, this is New York. I kind of get it. It's overpriced. But yeah, that's where it gets to be too high for me. $11. Yeah, what are you doing? $11 for freaking Bud Light. Get out of here.
This is like across the board at Philadelphia sporting events. I'm trying to find out the price of liquor at Eagles games. I cannot find out, but I'm seeing at Citizens Bank Park where the Phillies play, it's $15. Wells Fargo Center, it's $15 for a 24-ounce beer, and that's where the Sixers and the Flyers play. So like the whole city's in on it. They're like, we got to stop these people from drinking.
Yeah.
If any of our correspondents are out there in the Philadelphia area, we'd be welcome to have you on the podcast for an episode to break down the pricing at these stadiums and what liquor cost at the link, as they still call it.
Oh man. All right. And with that, by the way, quick thoughts on Tulane having the cheapest beer in college football.
Ooh.
What is their beer price?
It's $2.
Oh shit.
Jeez.
So Tulane is a legitimate football program right now, which should be the first part of it. Tulane, for those who are not in the know, is in New Orleans. Good drinking town, as we've already talked about. So that's very, very cheap.
Yes.
That's rather surprising. $2. I think at Kent State it was $1, and then it went up to $2, and that was like a whole big thing. But like nobody goes to Kent State football games, so they're trying to get people there. People are going to Tulane football games. When you get to those lower levels of college football, you're kind of playing the attendance thing. How can we get people in the stadium for some of these programs? I don't think Tulane has that problem right now, so maybe they should think about increasing.
Interesting.
$2.
That's crazy low.
Yeah.
That's crazy low.
Yeah. So
I mean, I'd go for just for that.
I mean, that's sounds like fun. Listen, $2 natty lights. I'm sure that's what it is. There's no way it's something else. So
yeah, has to be.
Hey man. Hey, shouts to the college kids there. Shouts to everybody who goes to Tulane. Like you're winning. All right. Let's get into another big thing in college football. Pitbull. It's Pitbull Stadium at FIU.
Easy segue.
I mean, this is quite possibly the biggest story in college football for me, is that Pitbull has the naming rights to a stadium at FIU, and I really want this to become a trend. I want more artists and athletes or whoever just to start getting naming rights to stadiums. Let's get it going. Shouts to Pitbull. I wish it was called Mr. 305 Stadium, but it's Pitbull Stadium. So
that would have been great.
I wish it was that, but it's Pitbull Stadium. So shouts to Pitbull.
And in terms of value, $1.2 million per year for 5 years. That is 10. A low 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, it's 10 year. It's a 10-year agreement.
Okay. That makes more sense because I thought 5 was really short.
10.
I've never seen anything that low.
Yeah.
For 10. 1.2. Okay. So a little over 10 million.
Yeah.
Not bad. I mean, I feel like there should be some other things. I mean, Florida International, not exactly a football powerhouse, right? But I feel like with that, he's like, okay, I need a couple of things, right? During timeouts, you're only playing Pitbull music all the time.
Yeah.
That's all you're playing in the stadium. My music all the time. The marching band, you're performing my music. You have my entire catalog. Every marching band halftime show is Pitbull themed. And then like he should have his face painted at the 20s that just says Pitbull Stadium and just that, that grin with those glasses on. Like I need that. That's what I need. That's what I'm negotiating if I'm Pitbull.
So have you guys seen what Pitbull actually gets for this deal? Like everybody knows FIU gets the money, but do you know what Pitbull gets in response to doing this?
No, hopefully only everything that I just listed, but tell me the real facts.
I know. I hope.
Let's go through the list. Number 1, he gets the right to use the stadium for 10 days out of the year rent free. So he could do
that's a lot.
He could do his own concerts there. He could do whatever he wants. Volley 305 vodka, which was co-founded by Pitbull, will be the preferred brand in the stadium. So they're selling his alcohol.
Money.
There's some like boring stuff about like academics. We don't care about this. He gets a football suite with 20-person capacity and 10 VIP parking passes. Now, one might argue there's a lot of parking spots available there, but they're good for Pitbull. Let's see. He gets 650 general admission football tickets per year that he's going to distribute for charity, but I guess he could use them for whatever he wants. He gets 12 courtside seats for all basketball home games. The courtside is going to be Pitbull and his crew.
Dude.
So
that's one side of the court. That's half a court.
We need to tune into one of their basketball games in like November to see what's going on.
Yeah, put that on instead of high school football. FIU
it's just
basketball.
Gonna be the whole. It's just gonna be a DJ Khaled like features list of like one song. It's just gonna be like
right.
Pitbull, Khaled, Quavo, Justin Bieber. Like it's just gonna be like
right. And the last one that's kind of interesting is there's 15 different things in this contract, but I'm just doing the highlights. The last one is an equal revenue split for any sponsor Pitbull brings for spaces inside the stadium. So if he gets FIU sponsors because he's now the naming rights, he gets half of the sponsorship deal.
Dude.
That one is crazy.
Dude, he is like the world's greatest entrepreneur. It's unbelievable.
That's serious. He's got serious value in this contract. He's making out.
Shouts.
And I guess Florida National's like,
I'm saying,
honestly,
like, we always do this and then we forget, or at least I do, but like person of the year candidate, bruncher of the year candidate.
Dude, strong case for the bowl.
Dude, wow. Shouts to Pitbull, man. That's awesome. Everything about this is awesome. I hope he's the one talking on the like loudspeaker when you're coming to the game. It's like, welcome to Pitbull Stadium. Like, don't drink and drive. All the stuff. Like, I hope it's just his
your boy,
voice.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Welcome to my stadium. Welcome to my house. Just welcome to my house.
Drink responsibly. Dolly. Like I just hope it's him saying it has to be him doing all of the talking at the stadium. I would be so disappointed if I heard the school president talking at all. No.
Chris, I hope you didn't read quickly over one of the small details that his like every first down you have to play Dolly. It's like every first
the whole stadium.
That would be great.
Yeah, screw the marching band. We're not the fight song. It's not. They don't have one anymore. It's Pitbull.
Yeah, that's an FIU first down, Dolly. I want that. My goodness. Man, if you're in the area.
Oh, dude! If they score 40 points, it's the friggin' everybody gets fireball shots. Fireball. They're just passing around fireball shots. Just fucking come on. Come on.
Yeah, 305. The over under is 30 and a half. Once they get the over, it's fireball for everybody.
Dude, they're gonna be the Big Ten is gonna pick them up. You just watch. It's happening.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. Oh man. All right, so let's get into the last topic. Rule changes. Dan, go for it.
So we all have plenty of things to complain about with football year in, year out. It honestly tends to get worse. So the question I propose to you boys is one rule change. If you could change one rule across all of football, so college, professional, not high school, if you could change one rule to make the game better, what would it be? What are your thoughts?
I would change the rule that I don't think field goals should. I don't. No, it's not that. Listen, I want field goals to go away. But that's not what I'm saying.
Eliminate kickers.
I think we should change it. I think we should change it. I think we should change it. Okay. I think you should have to hit one of the goalposts to get any points. If you don't hit anything, you get none. So I think the goal, it should be harder, because I want it to be harder to kick a field goal. Because if you're not going to get rid of the goalpost, which is what I want it to be harder. So I think you should get 1 point for getting it through, and you should get 3 points if you hit one of the crossbars.
You should have watched that New Mexico game, Didi. You would have loved it. It was real hard. These boys had a hard time.
Because if you're aiming for the crossbar, there is a better chance that you will miss the field goal altogether. So it makes it more exciting, because you're like, what is his goal here? Is he trying to get 1 point? Is he trying to go for 3? And then fans are pissed because they're like, God dang it. Why'd he go for 3? Just kick it straight through. No. It makes it more exciting. That's the rule change I would make. More points, you hit the crossbar. Makes it more exciting.
It's interesting. What was that Bears kicker from a couple of years ago who hit the post in 4? He missed 4 field goals because he hit it off the post in one game. He'd be great. He'd bring him back, call him back up. That poor kid.
They're going to have to change. If you do that, you're going to have to change like the way the upright sounds, because it's like such a failure sound. We got to like make it like the Taco Bell ding. Like we got to change it.
All right. We'll change the acoustics in the poll. That's all right.
Yeah. And then I'm on board.
All right.
I went more like schematic here, and I hate that having a shitty quarterback pays off sometimes. The whole purposely underthrown ball to make your receiver come back on it when the defender is running, and then like because the pass was shitty, they throw the flag for pass interference, and then you get at the spot of the foul. You guys don't understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I hate that. And it to everybody in the stadium, everybody watching on TV, it's obvious that like the quarterback threw a shitty pass, but because the receiver had to come back on it, the defender hit him, and then they blame the defender for being like, we all have common sense enough to be able to say like, yeah, that was just a bad throw. That's mine.
I hate bad quarterbacks getting bailed out. It's like the most annoying thing in the world.
Yeah, like I think
bad quarterbacks ought to suck. That's it.
Yeah, like if a quarterback throws to a receiver over the middle who has an oncoming train, a knowing oncoming train headed his way, and the quarterback just leaves him out here, like we need to somehow have some like reciprocal punishment for the quarterback. You should also be able to hit the quarterback after that happens. Like there's an extended whistle. They're like, okay, take a shot on him. That was not right. That was not fair. But I think we need to. I think my rule change is we should allow taunting. We should absolutely allow taunting.
Oh yeah.
And there should be maybe it's like we have the pitch clock in baseball. Like at the end of every play, there's like a 10-second clock that pops up. You have 10 seconds to taunt.
The taunting
and
ticker.
So all the referee is watching. He's watching you, watching the clock, watching you, watching the clock, watching you. You go a half a second over. So it might as well be a delay of game right there. Yeah. So you get 10 seconds to taunt as much as you want, but don't go over that 10 seconds or you got a delay of game penalty right there.
And Jim Nance throws it to this is the taunting ticker sponsored by Progressive.
Yeah, right. And then Romo's going, I don't know your Jim. I don't know your Jim. He's getting close.
I think that was 11. I think it was 11.
I think it was 11, Jim.
God, the taunting clock would make Joe Buck's mind explode. Like he would know what to do for those 10 seconds. He would be so angry for those 10 seconds. He'd be like trying to throw to commercial, and they'd be like, Troy would be like, "Hey, no, there's no commercial, Joe, but we got it. I can't handle it. I can't handle it."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I want Troy Aikman to break down the clock with Joe Buck and be like, you know, he's got to be smarter here, Joe. He's got to be aware of the clock.
You got that 10 seconds, Joe. That was one too many sockets. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can pump as much as you want, but not beyond 10 seconds. You got to be smarter than that.
I think that would just be. I think taunting should be allowed in every sport. I can't stand the fact that you get penalized for that. But the clock makes it fun because because you can imagine like the opposing team, like you're like he's got the clock up. They've got the 10-second clock up. Everyone's counting. Like
you have like a coach like yelling at the referee, being like, "He stopped pumping at 10. You saw it."
Like the whole crowd is like screaming and like
right.
Because everybody's counting. They're all 1,
yes,
2, 3, 4, 5. You know, everybody's just.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the ref has to get down on the ground like WWE style and smack the ground. That's the ticker.
There's your 10. Okay. All right. See, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. You can challenge. You got like a coach challenging. Oh, we got a challenge. We got a challenge on the 10-second taunt. Let's take a look at the replay. We're going under the hood. Brought to you by Microsoft Edge.
Oh, God. All right. Well, boys, let's get into music. We'll be talking football for the next however many months. 6?
Yeah.
6
so months.
Let's get into music. Christopher, what do you listen to, sir?
Since it's football season, I just don't know that there's been a better hype song created since Sheck Wes. And I don't know what happened to that dude.
Ooh.
So we'll throw that on the playlist this week because it still, I think, fires up stadiums on third down, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sure. Yeah.
No doubt.
I'm gonna go next. Alan Stone put out a new song, Can't Explain This Love, and holy shit, is that song good. Like, this is everything I love about Alan Stone. It is funky, it is great, and just, Alan Stone, Can't Explain This Love. Fire.
Great pick. Phenomenal pick. So I'll be the first one to do it. Sabrina Carpenter. Taste. The album is out. And boys, this album is made for us. And not necessarily because of the music style or anything like that, but its title is short and sweet and probably alluding to like her stature and her personality. But the album itself is short and sweet. 12 songs, 36 minutes. Brava. Amazing. And only got one single off of it. We got Espresso. She's like, I'm holding the rest. I'm holding the rest out. That song can ride it all summer. The rest is for me until the album is ready. Well done, Sabrina Carpenter. Great album from top to bottom, but Taste, right off the top, it's a jam. It's a jam. That's going to be played for a while.
Nice.
My next one, Real Friends put out some new music last week. And like, it is what Real Friends is, right? It's the emo of now. And the older I get, the less I resonate with it. But I have to keep it alive. So we're going to put Our Love Was Like a Sad Song on the playlist this week because that's about as emo as it gets. And I'm texting it to Dan right now.
There we go.
All right. So I'm going to put on the playlist. I don't think I put this on here. Quavo and Lenny Kravitz, Fly.
No.
So they put out basically it's a remix to Fly, but it's the same song. And it's Quavo and Lenny Kravitz. And it's great because if you like Fly by Lenny Kravitz, you're going to like the song because it's the same song. Just adds like a verse by Quavo in there. Lenny is on it. The video is, it's a fun video. They look like they both had a very good time doing this. So yeah, Fly. Shouts to Lenny Kravitz. That song still jams and you add Quavo and it's solid. I feel like you're going to hear this song feels like it, and I don't know this for sure, but this song feels like it was made for like a college football or NFL promo. It just feels like that. It's like, why does this song exist? Why did they do this? Oh, and then we're going to find out like next weekend during the ABC college football or Fox college football, and they're just going to be playing it nonstop. It just feels like this was only made for a promo, but it's good. So shouts to them.
It might have been a better idea if they covered Fly by Sugar Ray. That'd be really interesting. That's what I
Now, nobody needs that.
That's the football theme we all need for the year. Next one from me, Chris. I might be stealing this from you, but here we are. Blink 182, all in my head. It's hard to believe that we are getting part 2 of one. What's one more time? The second part of the album is coming out in a few weeks. Hello, thank you for that little surprise. And it's going to be amazing if it sounds anything like. They dropped 2 singles this past week. All in My Head is one of them. That's the one I'll put on the playlist. But yes, more new Blink. This is just amazing. I love it.
Yeah, that I will never not want that. All right, my last one is from a ska band called Kill Lincoln. A couple weeks ago, I put their song "I'm Fine, I Lied" on the playlist. This week, I'm putting another new one. They're kind of trickling out there because they have an album coming out. This one's called All Worries, and hopefully that's the last one they put out before the album. I don't know. It's 2.
Yeah.
All right.
More than that?
No, you never do. No one ever. It's very annoying. I feel you. All right. A very popular song in weddings out here, with anyone of Mexican descent, is a song called Vivir Mi Vida by Mark Anthony. And dude, every time I'm at a wedding, because we were at one last week, and that song comes on, and it is just fire. And I forget that song exists other than when I am at someone's wedding. And I'm like, holy shit, this song jams. Vivir Mi Vida, Mark Anthony. It goes at weddings. Oh, song goes. So,
okay,
putting it on the playlist.
Nice. And then the last one for me is from Glades. No stranger to the playlist, and they are absolutely one of my favorite bands in the entire world right now. And they've given us just a little bit more before we get a full album from them, hopefully soon. The newest single is called Overdrive. Super upbeat and catchy. Again, I say this often. It's just like one of those where you can't resist the temptation to either bounce your leg, tap your toe, bop your head. It's a really catchy jam. So Overdrive from one of my favorite bands in the world, Glades.
Nice. Well, that is what we are listening to. Make sure you check out The Sounds of Brunch on Spotify and tell Alexa to play The Sounds of Brunch. Boys, this has been a fun one. A lot of football, a lot of randomness, a lot of stuff. Any final thoughts?
Yeah. I do have final thoughts, Didi. Yeah. Thank you for this opportunity. 2 really important things. It's Wednesday. Okay. There's college football on tomorrow if you're listening the day that we release this episode. This first weekend, not a lot of bangers. Okay. Not a lot of great football games on paper. But zoom out. Look at some of those games that don't even have betting lines and just watch a few. Okay. And set your beer budget for the season as well.
Ooh, good idea. Good call there. Final thoughts from me. We need to be on the lookout for what we will name Brunch Breakdown Stadium, because the things that Pitbull is getting, I feel like can be just as strong negotiators. Mimosas at concession stands. I mean, many, many things to talk about there. But yes, I encourage you, watch football, and like Chris said, like be on the lookout for the next Seamus wide receiver coming out of Ireland to take over the world. He's on the way.
And that's the Brunch Breakdown. We're out.